What's up, guys? Welcome back. Happy New Year! Woo! First video of 2021. I hope you guys had an awesome holiday. I hope you guys had an amazing break if you did have one. So I think for today's video, I'm gonna take it a little bit more calmly. I feel like I'm always rushing just because there's always something going on, but today I have someone watching Milani and helping me out with her, so I can kind of, you know, breathe. Take it easy, at least for the intro. The DIYs that I'm making today are gonna be brand new. I think most of them are gonna be recreations or were inspired by something I saw either on Pinterest or on a store online. I'll definitely show you guys the picture of where I was inspired and share with you guys how you can make budget-friendly DIYs without spending too much money. If you guys are excited for that, stay tuned. If this is your first time here, welcome, and thanks so much for joining me today. I would love it if you became part of the DIY family by subscribing to my channel and hitting the bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm gonna be sharing my socials down below in the description, my Instagram, my TikTok, my other YouTube channel, Pinterest, all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested in something other than just the DIYs, make sure you guys head on down in the description and follow the links. Other than that, that's it. Let's get on to the DIYs. I've seen these lemon leaf topiaries a lot, but there is just no way that I would ever pay $48 for it. So I'm gonna make my own, and this is my replica. I feel like now that I look at it, I should have put more leaves on it, but I did run out of the specific type of leaf that I used. To make it, I'm going to be using a Dollar Tree candle holder, a foam ball, and then also some extra greenery that I have. Usually when I work with like flower bundles and stuff, if I don't use the leaves, I just put them in a bag to use for later. And if you guys can see on the right hand side over there, I did actually get some twigs or branches from outside of my yard. And to paint it, I am going to be using this Bear paint in matte white, and because it is older, there's not much left in it. It's getting kind of thick, which I'm actually really happy about because it makes the paint have some texture. So I'm just tapping it on there with a brush. And you guys have seen me do that before. I tap it on there to give it a textured look. I don't want like the, you know, like the flat white paint look. And then after that, I'll be using the Vase. I think this is in, wait, I don't remember the color of this paint, but I've used it in a lot of my other projects, and I'm taking that's just a sample paint. I'm taking that and just tapping it on there the same way I did on the first one, but leaving some of the white paint to show through, and that's also going to have some texture. So these branches, you guys can see they are kind of fresh. You can still see that they're green, but I feel like eventually they're going to dry out, which is fine. I feel like even when they do dry out, they're still going to look realistic because they are real. So whether or not they turn brown, I guess we will have to find out and see. So I just tied it with some twine and then cut it to this length that I wanted to, and just made a hole on the foam ball and stuck those right in there. And the rest is pretty easy to kind of follow along with. And again, the leaves that I used, I did run out of, so I wish I would have had some more to make it a little bit more poofy, I guess, but I actually really like the way it ended up.
I got you, you got me, we are two lucky. Emily, your name spells home since the day you were born. You have always known when I need you the most. Oh, 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 oh. My best friend God sent my own good fortune. You know you are my double flame whisper, my soulmate sister. You know you are. I see you, you see me. Same mother, different dads, but we're just as happy.
I basically just went all the way around to make sure that I covered the foam ball, which in reality, you're not really going to see it, you know, after you put a lot of layers on there. But then once I started getting to the outside layers, I made sure to leave the top of the leaf without glue. That way it kind of comes out a little bit and it makes it look like it's blooming almost, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, like the ones that go directly on the foam ball, make sure you put glue on, you know, all across it, and then the other ones just leave it sticking out. And so on the floral foam, I did cut off the corners so that it fits into the vase or the candle holder, and just glue it down and add some moss to it.
Oh, my best friend God sent my own good fortune. You know you are my double flame whisper, my soulmate sister. You know you are. Oh, every time life gets rough, you know you are the one that picks me up, the one that fills my cup. You know you are, and we are inseparable.
I saw a really cute basket that it looked like it was wrapped in rope online, and it was filled with rosemary, which I wanted to use as well. But I knew I didn't have enough rope to do that, so I just decided to go this route. So I am using two DIYs, or I guess two pieces of separate DIYs that I did before. The bottom one is like a dog bowl from Dollar Tree, and it was painted already before. And then that vase is also from Dollar Tree. I did show you guys how to do like the terracotta look to it. I basically just did plaster of Paris with like a mixture of acrylic paint to match that color. If you guys want to see that video, I will try to link it below or above. Hopefully I remember to do that. Sometimes I do forget to link stuff even though I say I'm going to do it. And then I also did use, I think, 4 of these ropes from Dollar Tree. And these are newer to Dollar Tree. And I guess I got these maybe a few weeks back. And I feel like these are not as thick. I just said I feel like, I don't know how many times. So anyway, I feel like they do change up the rope a lot. And so I think I've seen like 3 different types of nautical rope, which is fine. But sometimes you get used to one that's like thicker or whatever, and you like it. But anyway, you guys can see that one rope like covered the complete bowl at the bottom, and then obviously I just like attached the other one to the end and then went all the way up. And you guys can see here I'm making some handles. Instead of cutting out an individual piece of rope and then gluing it on there, I'm just gonna do it with the very last strand that I'm wrapping around. And then once those 2 handles are made, I will go ahead and continue with the rope above that to keep it secure.
We are so soulmate sister. You know you are.
So I didn't want the handles to just be like all floppy or anything, so I did add some hot glue to kind of perk them up a little bit. And you guys will notice that I did not cover the rest of the vase, also because I didn't want to like waste another thing of rope just to do that. And I did actually kind of like how it looked with the exposed ceramic look to it. What I really wanted to do was to make sure that I could put water into here so that I can put my stems of rosemary in it.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two.
All right, so another wooden display tray. You know, how many trays can we make? A lot, but this one's a little bit different. Obviously not gonna cost me $49. So I did take these two trays from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna actually take one apart and make my own bigger one. So you guys can see these little wood, I don't know, wooden pieces from Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 6. Hopefully you guys can find them at your Dollar Tree. I've had them just chilling in my craft room. So I'm going to take these apart, and then I'm going to use the two ends to obviously recreate what I just took apart, only on a bigger scale. So I'm going to take 2 of those pieces of wood and glue them together, and then the side pieces that I took from the original tray, I'm going to glue them to the bottom so that if I do place something on top of there, it's not gonna like break on me, because obviously the wood glue is not just, or not the wood glue, but the hot glue is not just gonna hold that together. So on the ends of the tray, you guys can see there's like a little, like a dip. That's where the piece of wood was in before. I just took my box cutter and I just cut a little slit like from the side so that the other pieces of wood will fit in there, because it's just a little bit thicker than the original one that was slid into there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take some of my Amazon paint stir sticks. You guys could probably find them at Walmart, but I mean, I got these during the shutdown and quarantine, so I have a bunch of them, and they're actually a really good price for how many you get. So I'm just going to cut them to size and then glue them to the sides. You guys will notice that the 2 pieces of wood that I used, they're just a little bit thin, so there's going to be like one little sliver of opening at the bottom that I'm going to cover with a bamboo stick. So I'm just going to glue that to the bottom so that if I do end up putting something in there, nothing's going to like sneak in through and like fall through the bottom. I hope you guys can see what I mean. If you have any questions, you guys know where to leave them, and hopefully I can get back to you, you know, quick and sooner than later.
Let's be more than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day, yeah. So hold me tight.
So at this point, you guys can do whatever you'd like as far as painting it or staining it or leaving it natural. I'm just going to use some of this Valspar paint, and this is an alpaca. I just remembered that. So alpaca, I think. Actually, now I'm confused because I know I used another type of gray that was like a sample paint similar to this. I don't remember, but I did go into it with a baby wipe, and I just did like a very thin layer, and then after that I did actually go into it with a gray wood stain. You know, the gray might be like a repost gray or something like that. Gosh, I wish I remembered, but I'm not in my craft room, so I don't know what to tell you guys. Also, it's getting late in the day, so I'm singing 'cause that's what I do. Alright, guys.
It's just us two, me and you. Oh, I can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars.
Okay, here we're gonna make another tray because why not? I had the stuff, so I decided to make it. So I'm gonna be using these little wooden pallet things from Dollar Tree. They do have some different ones that actually look like mini palettes, but we'll just go ahead and call these the same. So I'm using 3 of them, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue them together. You know, sometimes I just wing stuff when I'm making it. Like, I don't always go into my craft room with a plan. So as I'm making it, like, that's when I'm thinking it up. After gluing the popsicle sticks down, I realized there was absolutely no reason for me to cut them. You can actually just leave them whole. And then on top of that, I will put another popsicle stick just so it doesn't like bend in the center, just to give it a little more strength and to make it like sturdy. And don't worry, we are going to end up covering that up so you don't see it from the sides. But yeah, once that's all glued down, I did take my little thingy here. This is what I use to put like cabinet knobs on my cabinets. And then just gonna make the holes, and I'm obviously gonna be using some handles, or not knobs, yeah, handles. What did I say? Knob? No, I didn't say knobs. I said knobs on my hand. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. So made the holes for the handles, and then just went ahead and painted it. And I don't want to paint it all the way through. I do want to have some of that natural wood coming through, you know, because that's the look that I like. So again, you guys decide whether you want to paint it completely or stain it. So, you know, I did end up painting it at the bottom also. Yeah, once that's all done, I will attach the handles, and then I actually ended up using some Jenga blocks or some wooden blocks from Dollar Tree to put on the bottom sides so you don't see all those popsicle sticks glued on there. And that was just like a last minute thing, which I'm really glad I did because it looks so much better. Random question though, you guys. Every time I go back and listen to my voiceovers to make sure I didn't say anything inappropriate or, you know, make sure that it's all good, I feel like I sound very Valley girlish. Do you guys ever get that from me? I don't try to be, but I feel like sometimes it does sound like that. Like very, very, oh my God, you guys, like, let me know in the comments down below if you think I sound like a Valley girl. Also, let me know if you heard my dog barking in the background.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of home. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive, and the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come.
For this next DIY, I'm going to be making this beautiful mirror. And it's like a Starburst mirror. I think that's what they're called. So I will be using a Dollar Tree mirror. And then these are 2 signs. They're like wooden signs from Dollar Tree that I used from a previous DIY. I glued the 2 together, and then I put some vinyl liner on top of it. And I actually had made a tray with that one. But now we're going to be reusing it for this one. So I'm just going to center the mirror as best as I can and just mark it where I'm going to glue it down later. Now, taking these little hors d'oeuvre pick thingies from Dollar Tree, obviously they are glitzy and glam, and I don't do the glitzy and glam, so we're going to definitely paint those. So I just kind of went around, like, you know, I try to make it as evenly as possible. So I glued one at the bottom, then one at the top, then 2 on the sides, and then I just went in the center of each of those picks, and you guys will see what I mean. Before I glue the mirror down, I went ahead and took it out, and then I just placed it where it's going to be positioned, and then I took my spray paint and just spray painted it all. I actually was sort of patient for this to dry because I didn't want like my fingerprints or thumbprints all over it, and then I just took a little brush to kind of scrape out the glue strands that are left over sometimes. I just wanted to get it as clean as possible. Obviously, you're going to be seeing some glue either way. I do have all these wooden beads from Amazon, and I have these little tiny beads that sometimes I don't know what to do with, and I thought it would be a really good idea to put them at the ends of the little picks, because you guys can see they're like little forks, only they're not 4, they're 2. So those fit perfectly in there, and I'm just going to do 2 on them. You could also do more if you wanted to, but I don't think I would have enough to cover like that whole area.
And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You will be the last one I think about. When it all breaks down, I'll wait for you right here. And I swear that we got nothing to fear. It's a miracle that you and I are finally here. I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You will be the last one I think about. The last one I think about.
I really wish I could blur out my RBF out of the mirror, because oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like I look so mean and so angry all the time, but really I'm just concentrating. So to hang it, that black mirror actually does have this little thingy on the back of it. So before I glue it down, I went ahead and took it out, and then I just positioned it on the back of the sign to hang it up.
Wish that I could stay. Wish for this moment to never go away. But it's all in my mind. And though I know that there is nothing to find, you're a beautiful sight in the sun.
Okay, so we've come to the last and my very, very favorite DIY, and it's not going to be the Farm Fresh sign, it's going to be the window thing behind it. So I saw this online and I really wanted to recreate it, but I didn't want to do like the same old thing, you know, with like the freaking canvas frames or the picture frames. So I will be taking my Amazon stir sticks, my paint sticks, and I'm not going to cut them at all. Well, actually I am, but not these. So I'm going to take the first 2 and I'm just going to glue them together. So for the sides, I'm going to be taking 2 more and cutting them in half. And honestly, it would really make my life so much easier if I just had like a really mini, tiny table saw that I could use. But you know what? We're going to bust out our handsaw and just cut them up.
And you can't put up a fight in the misty light.
Okay, so my side pieces are glued together, and now I'm going to go ahead and glue them to the original piece. And I am going to flip them over just because it makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to see what I'm doing. So that way you can kind of see like where the markings are of like the measurements, and you can place them as evenly as possible or as centered as possible as you can.
streets all alone. And all you can see.
Anytime I do stuff like this, I always like to put like another long piece on the back just to make it a little bit more sturdy and so that it doesn't fall apart on me. Now, to make the frame around it, I will be using 2 pieces at the bottom and 2 pieces at the top. And you guys can see I'm just measuring out, you know, where I'm going to cut off. And you guys can use the whole piece, but if you guys can see, it's just going to be more sturdy if you have, you know, like the one piece attached to the top. Because if you did it to where you left the whole paint stick like complete, it's going to go over that middle part, and then you're going to have to glue the other piece to the one that's hanging. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I try to like envision what I'm telling you guys, but hopefully it makes sense. Anyways, make sure you cut it just to make sure you have something that's going to be really sturdy. So once that top piece is done, I will be gluing the side piece and then the bottom piece, or I guess the top piece, depending on which way you're looking at it. And now to complete the frame, of course, I'm going to go on and use my handy dandy wooden blocks from Dollar Tree. I will get to a point where one of them is going to be too long, so I do have to use my saw to cut just a little piece of it.
Thinking about what your life came to be. You're a beautiful sight in the summer night. And you can't put up a fight in the misty light.
Also, in my head, I could have sworn that I had wood filler, okay? I feel like wood filler would work so much better on this, but it's all right. We're going to use some Dollar Tree caulk and it's going to work out. And you know what? If you have residue left over, it's okay. I will show you guys what it's going to do. So I'm going to try to fill the cracks and fill like those little holes as much as I can and just let it dry. So once it does dry a little bit, I am going to be scraping some off with like a putty knife, and then I'll obviously sand it down and stuff, but again, there is going to be some left over. Even after I stain it, it'll be a lot more noticeable, but honestly, it's okay. I do want it to look like aged and antique-y, and I feel like that's actually going to give it a nice touch. So now you're going to take your hammer or your whatever tool you have and just beat the heck out of it. You're going to want to give it some character. Like I just started scraping on it, and I don't know if you can tell, but it is making like some lines on there. You can go across, you can go up and down, and I just try to kind of follow like what the original one looked like. And yeah, just beat the crap out of it. And obviously it's going to have like more texture and then more lines for like the paint or the stain to kind of work around. And yeah, it's just, I feel like it's a lot different than what I've seen.
Like the mothers of Brazil find their way. We're all on our own, but you're the most beautiful I've ever known. You're a beautiful sight in the summer night, and you can't put up a fight in the misty light. I never felt tomorrow closing in this fast. Oh, I guess time's in a rush. Leaves are falling down, but at least they grow back while I'm on a one-way track. Now I know what it means.
All right, so now I'm going to be using my other gray stain, and why I went into it with the paintbrush that I used the other stain with is beyond me. I don't know why I did that, but it's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that liquid from it and then add some chalkboard paint from Dollar Tree just to make it a little bit thicker. And then it's going to give it that more darker look that I was going for, and just getting in there like in the creases and stuff, and then going into it after with like a paper towel.
Yeah, now I know the time I got, it is just enough to get by. Yeah, it is just enough to get by. Sometimes I understand I'm making all the wrong demands in life. It never pays in the end.
So you guys can see now that that caulk is a lot more noticeable, because obviously I couldn't get into like every crease, but I did go into it with a putty knife and I tried to scrape it off, which actually worked out perfectly, because then it kind of exposed the natural wood look, and I feel like it just gives it so much more character.
But still I am here, moving on like before. I'm yearning to reach the shore. Now I know what it means to grow old. Yeah, now I know the time I've got, it is just enough to get by. Oh, now I know what it means to grow old. Yeah, now I know the time I've got, it is.
All right, you guys, so we have come to the end of the video. Cheers to that. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys leave me a thumbs up. In the comments down below, let me know what your favorite was. I feel like I did a pretty good job at recreating these, and I absolutely love them. With anything, you guys, I know not everybody enjoys the farmhouse decor or the rustic or whatever it is that, you know, I sort of lean into on my channel, but I feel like some of these can be fine-tuned to fit your style. If not, you know, there's nothing wrong with like taking the inspiration from what you saw here and then turning it into what fits your decor. I love sharing that you can make really cute stuff without spending a lot of money, and that's what I'm about, because I'm kind of cheap like that, and that's okay. So again, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you guys leave me a thumbs up, leave me your comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, see you guys on the next one. Bye.